Good evening, sir. My name is Sanchoy Lastran. The first question is, how do monosaccharide produce acidic sugar? So monosaccharide themselves are not natural acidic. However, they can be converted into acidic sugar through the process of oxidation. And the second question is, what are the three acidic sugar that monosaccharide produce? So the three acidic sugar that can produce is, the first one is aldonic acid, the second one is aldaric acid, and the third one is aldoronic acid. So the first one is aldoronic I so the first one is the aldonic acid, which is derived from the glucose. It has the same carbon, but the aldehyde group is converted to carboxylic acid, which is tong tap ang iyahang carbonyl tap. Then the aldaric is formed from the fructose, which is both aldehyde group gihapon and nasya sa ubos. And the third one is the aldoronic acid, which is tap and ubos ang iyahang carbonyl acid. So the third question is, what is the process involved for the monosaccharides to produce sugar alcohol, and what catalyst is involved? So the monosaccharide produce alcohol through the converted into sugar alcohol through a process of reduction, which is this creates a sugar alcohol with the same carbon but more hydroxyl group, which is the catalyst is involved in which is reductase. So the fourth one is, what is general name for monosaccharides, acetal, and how do they form? So the general name of monosaccharides is glycosides, which are acetals that form the cyclic hemiacetal forms to monosaccharide, reacts with the alcohol. And also glycoside called that results from glucose, which is called glycoside. So the fifth one is, what are oxyacids and how do the reaction with monosaccharides end up to? So the oxyacid is the esterification where when a monosaccharides react with an oxyacid like phosphoric acid and ester bond that can form between the acid group and the hydroxyl group on the sugar. So the sixth one is, monosaccharides can be formed amino acid. So it can be converted into amino sugar for of replacing hydroxyl group, which is the monosaccharides with a amino group or NH2. So this conversion happens when the modified version of monosaccharides called glycal, which has a double between specific atom or carbon atom. So the seventh question is, explain the significance of superimposable and non-superimposable mirror image in the concept of chirality. So in the mirror image called enantiomer that have the same chemical formula but interact differently due to direction, which is chirality and non-superimposable. So ang superimposable is the importance So the importance of superimposable is if it is a chiral, and if it is overlays perfectly with its mirror image like a ball, so these molecules can't have distinct enantiomers. So so 8 ang number 8 question is distinguish stereoisomer, isomer, enantiomer, diastomer, epimers, and anomers. So stereoisomer is term of spatial isomer, and enantiomer is mirror image that are non-superimposable, like left left and right hands, which is the example of chiral, and then diastereomers is non-image, or the like right shoe and the left shoe, which is the superimposable or a chiral. And the epimers is the specific type of diastomers where they differ in configuration of at only one chiral center, which is the example, which example is glucose and the galactose are epimers each other, and the anomers is, so ang anomers is mupudong arise from the rearrangement of the carbon chain around the carbonyl group, which is a type of epimer where the different configuration and specifically at the first carbon or the aldose, and the second carbon is the ketosis in the sugar molecule. And 9 question is how determine the hardnesses of monosaccharides in both feature and Howard projection. So the feature projection is the mirror image in feature projection are not the same molecule or the enantiomers, and the Howard projection is the mirror image is still enantiomer. And the last question is what are the classification of carbohydrates? How are they classified? So monosaccharides is the single sugar unit, for example glucose, and the disaccharide is two sugar joins together, for example sucrose and fructose, and the oligosaccharides is the small chain 3 to 10 sugar units ang units, and the polysaccharides is long chains of 100,000 of units, for example ano is starch and the cellulose. That's all.